Good morning. Let's play some chess. 50 minutes, 10 seconds increments. Here we go. And today we are playing Fabra 63 from Spain. Ooh, exciting. Today it's day 31 of our journey. Time flies. So day 31. So we have been playing about 31 games. And I was thinking to do maybe tomorrow, do a little, how do you call it? A recap or a summary, just to analyze the last 31 games and categorize my mistakes, just to see where most of my mistakes are, reasons why I lose, and see if I can, spot a pattern. So we have something to work on. That could be interesting. In the meantime, my opponent is grabbing a lot of space on the king side. By doing so, weakening, of course, his king a little bit, but whatever. He is attacking my queen. I can move my queen and create a counter attack, which I think I like. I like my queen having here, I think. Opponent can go back, then I will grab a pawn. Maybe I have to think about it. I can also offer a bishop trade. We will see. So far we have a unique position. Okay, so he is pushing the pawn. Now what about this? Just attacking that pawn. He can decide to push. In that case, I don't know what I will do in that situation. This creates a threat, and if he pushes the pawn, maybe I'll give a check. I don't know. And then develop the knight. Something like that. Oh, yesterday I made a mouse slip. First mouse slip on this thing. Now I have to admit my mouse is not the newest anymore. Maybe it's time to replace that thing. I have to replace a lot of things. I have to replace my laptop, my mouse. Just too much. All right. So my opponent is pushing all the pawns, which is creating a lot of weaknesses. Now, is there a way to exploit that? I don't see a very good way. I think I have to retreat the bishop for now. And probably I will push c5 at some moments. And I probably will take, and so I can develop my knight. I can also develop the knight here. It's also an option. We will see. I don't know where I want my pieces to be. So here, he has this check now, but of course that's covered pretty well. If the pawn takes, there's a possibility that I just take with the bishop, re-enable that threat. I mean, why not? And if he does nothing, I think I will take the pawn. I would assume that my opponent will recapture like that. And he's also trying to trap my bishop. That's not nice. That is not nice. Now, do I have to react on that? Or can I just grab the pawn? What happens in that scenario? Well, in that scenario, I'm not quite sure. So takes here. What do I do with my bishop? I can also take. I prefer this move. How to do this? Yeah. Let's do that. Let's create some luft for my bishop. I mean, this is the only safe place for my bishop, and that's not where I wanted to have it. Okay, so he keeps pushing, but I will just retreat the bishop now. And it's time to develop the knight. Wow, this guy just goes for the kill. Now I have a strong bishop here. And I think I will develop the knight. Maybe he's trying to develop the bishop here. Maybe that's the idea. I'm just trying to develop my pieces here. Nothing special. Do I need to worry about that move? No, then the bishop hangs. I think I just castle. And on that move, I can also keep the king in this. I can also castle the other way around, but I need to figure out if that is a threat or not. And I think I will develop my rook first. Just to get my pieces involved. It's an interesting position, actually. It's not easy to find a good way to punish the setup, if you know what I mean. Let's go here. Let's take with the knight, so we also cover that square. I'm definitely thinking about taking there. Yeah, I am going to take there. That's going to be my next move. Now the nice thing is my bishop is covering that square, so whenever this opens up and he lines up, he will lose the rook. And I have some pressure here on the pawn. So now it's time to open it up. I'm going to castle. His king is wide open here. Now if takes, can I take? Yeah, I think I can. Because he doesn't have discovery checks, so I can just take there. And we just won a pawn. Well, congrats on that. This pawn is also hanging. He is defending the pawn. But it feels like a mistake. But he has a check here. So I think the right move here is to castle. Let's castle. Just let us be safe. Rooks are connected. If he lines up, I have to be careful. There it is. But with that move, he disconnects the queen and the pawn, so I can actually take with check. Let's do that. Let's take with check. That's another pawn. And the beautiful thing is that I can take another pawn with check, depending on where the king goes. I can also add an attacker on the knight if he goes there. Now, if he goes there, I will take another pawn with check, I think. But this isn't looking very good for my opponents. So I can pin that knight. And actually, I think I can win that piece. I don't see a way my opponent can add more defense on the knight. So this is going to be my next move with check. And this is not looking good. This is not looking good. Yeah. So I take with check. And that will also be close to checkmate here. Wait a minute, this is checkmate because the knight is pinned, so there we go. And that was a quick game, but nonetheless challenging because your opponent is pushing a lot of pawns and you know it's not good, but it's very difficult to, well, punish that in the right way. But today we were, how do you say that, rational and not panicking, and it worked out for us. I want to thank Fabra for the game. I think he played a good game. So if we look at the accuracy, it's not that high, 80.4 against 64. A lot of inaccuracies, 7 in total, 2 misses. But it's difficult in a game like this to find every best move. And we also played, I think we played fast, faster than yesterday. I mean, yesterday I ran into time trouble again, and that actually lost me the game. Should I have taken? Yeah. Normally, it's always tough to say whether when you want to take the knight or when not. Normally, I only take the knight if there is a pawn on d4, which I can pressure with my knights. That's a common idea in the Caro Kann, but because there is nothing in the center, well, I wasn't sure. I'm glad I didn't take the knight, because at the very ending that bishop was giving me the win. This is all good. This is not the best move. Developing the knight was better. I can imagine, because this was not creating anything. I mean, he just got a lot of tempi on my bishop. Taking the knight? Alright. And then you can take the pawn. That's so sneaky. Tactics. Didn't consider that at all. Funny idea. That's a funny idea. Okay. So I went all the way back. He developed. Okay. Again, this was a miss. I had a better move. Oh. Pushing h5. Also, that makes that makes sense. Not my best game, but a lot of points I can learn from. I know for a fact. So he took back with the knights, castles. Here I opened up the center. I won a pawn. You permitted the opponent to eventually win material. That is interesting. That was the best move. And how should my opponent have reacted here? He went there. He had a skewer. He could win material through a skewer. What? He should have gone there. But then what? I just trade queens, right? I don't get it. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh. Oh, wow. I totally missed that move. How do I deal with this? Ooh. Queen takes d1. Yes. Takes. Is he going? Yeah. No, If he takes, I can save the rook, and if he gives the check, well, I have to move the king. But he can only do one thing at a time. So computer says check first, and I will probably move my king up. Maybe here to save the pawn. I think I would have gone here. Now you have to take. No. Now I lose my rook with check. Nope, that's not a good move. What should I have done here? If I also want to save that pawn. What's the computer suggesting? d7. Okay. And then he takes, and then f8. I'm going to lose a pawn. This was a very strong play by my opponent. Yeah, this is not fun. It's not fun to deal with a knight on d6 like that. That's almost resignable. So taking the pawn was a big mistake. Okay, but my opponent